Now let's add some motion shapes to this work. So first of all, I want to add an explosion effect once this ball hit the ground. But before doing that, let's change the color of the ball to white and the color of the background to blue, because I want to show you another trick. Okay, so go to the layer 0, which is the background by the way, double click and go to color overlay and choose the blue color. Okay, the same blue color of the ball. Now go to the ellipse, which is the ball, so this is the ellipse. Double click again and choose color overlay, and not that one here, and choose a white color. Okay, now even we change that, you can see we still have the animation. Now zoom in the timeline, I can see it will collide with the ground at 10 frame right there. Okay, right here I will add the motion shapes. So go ahead and go to the shapes and go choose custom shape tool, and from here you will find a lot of shapes, and one of them is this ring shape there. Okay, if you didn't find all of them, you can go from this option and choose all, and then press OK, and you can see here is it, the ring. Okay, so at the middle, hold shift and alt, or sorry, this time don't hold shift and alt, just draw a ring like this, so that it looks like an explosion that happened underneath the ball. Then go ahead and fill it with a white color. So try to shape an explosion like this one, and you can press Ctrl T in your keyboard in order to make it a little bit smaller or to squeeze it. And now I think this one will be good enough. Okay, fantastic. Convert this shape to a smart object, then add a transform keyframe at this point, 10 frame, and after say 10 frames here at 20, or let's say not at the exact 20, just before 20, at something like 18. Okay, at that, then let's change the initial point, press Ctrl T and hold shift and alt and make it smaller, so at the beginning it will not be there, maybe more. Okay, so let's see that. Wow, a wonderful explosion. Now of course we need this one to disappear, so right before the last keyframe, add an opacity keyframe, then at 20 here add another opacity keyframe and change the second opacity keyframe to 0%, and now it will disappear during that time. Now what if we need two explosion? How we can do that without repeating all these steps? I hope you got it. We need to convert this to a smart object, then duplicate it. And to do that, you know that we need a new layer just before that shape layer, and make it full screen. Choose any color and make it full screen. That color, now it's full screen. Make the opacity of it to 0%, and select both of these color layers, then right click and convert both of them to a smart object. If you don't know this, get back to the basics of animation and you will know what I mean. Okay, fantastic. Now I can duplicate this layer right here. Okay, so let's move this layer, new layer, a little bit forward, not exactly at 15 frames, just before that. I have two explosion. Just make the second one, which is shape 1 copy, smaller, press Ctrl T and hold Shift and Alt and make it a little bit smaller. Okay, you can see now the first and the second explosion. Fantastic. Look how easy to do that. Now at this point where the ball reach above there and just before it's converted to a square, so I will zoom out a little bit. Go ahead and select the ellipse. Okay, where is the ellipse? That one. Okay, you can see it will become a square, but the square is blue like the background color, so we can't see it now. So what if you remember what we did with this ball? We just make it smaller, then the square become bigger. So I will change that right now, because I want to show you that you can change things even if you finished your work and felt that you want to change something. Just remember you can. Okay, so go to the ellipse again, and I will add a cool effect here. So if you would open the animation options for the ellipse, which is this ball here, you can see the last two keyframes was to make this ball smaller, if you remember that. So let's increase the length of this layer, because we did short it last time, if you remember that. And right here, instead of make it smaller, so between these two keyframes we made it smaller. So now delete the second keyframe, right click and delete. Okay. And right here add another keyframe to make it bigger instead. So press Ctrl T. Now you can see I can make it bigger like that. Cool. Now we have a background from the circle. So you can see once it hit there, it will become bigger, then the square will come like that. Okay, so this is a cool effect we just add using few steps. Okay, now once the F will come, I will add another motion shapes. So right here, go to the above the layer F right there and choose the rectangular selection tool, and not the rectangular selection tool, let's say the polygonal selection tool, and just hold Shift and draw a line like that, then another line like this, another line like this, and another line like this. Okay, fantastic. Then fill it with the same color of the of course we need a new layer to fill it, so click that icon there to create a new layer, then fill it with that color and convert it to a smart object and flip it horizontally. So press Ctrl T and flip it horizontally. Okay, and just make it a little bit smaller. Fantastic. Now what I want with this, just make it the size of it a little bit smaller even from here. Okay, so I want to add a motion shape like this F is moving so fast. Okay, to do that, go where the F layer started and make the starting point of the new layer at the same of the F layer, and open the animation options for the F because we want to see the keyframes. Okay, and try to do the same thing for the motion shapes. So add a transform keyframe right here, then another transform keyframe right here, the same of the F, and at the first keyframe right here, make that one behind outside the screen, and you can see the F is faster because we added the physics effect to it. So we need to do the same for the motion shapes. So right here add a keyframe and drag that keyframe to the middle, and you can see they have almost the same speed, which is fine. Cool. Now let's convert this one to a smart object, and you know that you need to add a new layer underneath it. Then just make that layer full screen using any color, and make the opacity of it to 0% and select both of them, then convert to a smart object like that. Call this one fast or anything. Okay, and here we go, we have one. Okay, so I think I forget to make it disappear. Okay, but it's not a problem, we can do that and convert it again to smart object. So right here, add an opacity keyframe, you can fix it, don't worry. And after few frames, add another opacity keyframe and make that to 0%. Okay, cool. And let's convert it to a smart object again. Now you notice that we don't need to add a new layer to convert it to a smart object, because now it's already, this layer is full screen. So just convert it to a smart object to hide that 2 keyframes and the animation is still there. Okay, fantastic. Now let's change the size of it and make it right here. Okay, so you can see it's nice. Maybe we will just move it a little bit further to here. Let's see that right now. Okay, so it's better now. Now let's duplicate this one. So after few frames right here, press Ctrl G to duplicate it, and you can see there's another one. All what we need to do is to drag it a little bit down. Then after few frames, press Ctrl G and you will find another one and change it position again. Okay, so now let's see that. Look how easy is doing that using smart object. Now hold shift and select all of them, then convert all of them to a smart object. And now we want to add the same motion shapes right here in this rectangle. Flip, and doing that is very easy. And because we convert all these shapes to one smart object, they will act as one layer. Okay, so press Ctrl G to duplicate them, and right here the new one, just move it to here. Press Ctrl T and make them smaller and just rotate them like that, so they will come from the opposite direction. I will make them a little bit smaller from here. Let's see that right now. Okay, I think I shouldn't rotate them. Okay, sorry for that. If you did rotate them, just rotate them back. So let's see that. Now when the square flip and reach that point, we want these motion shapes to come out from the square. Okay, so try to do that. So move it a little bit further. Okay, maybe here. Good. You can see we did 2 motion shape scan using only one layer. It was only one layer when we started animating it. Now you can see the Facebook logo was disappear, and that's because we resized the ellipse and it's become the background. So now the background is actually the ellipse. So to fix that, all what you need to do is to drag the Facebook layer and make it above the ellipse layer right there. Okay, so sorry, just here. So it's okay here. And now we have the Facebook logo. And don't worry about this flashing effect here, because Adobe Photoshop sometimes did that when it's trying to render the work, but it will be just fine. So all what you need to do now is to indicate the end of the video. Let's put it to about 4 seconds, will be good. Then just move this one to here and go to render video, and I will call it face high quality. Then maybe I will call it face 2, maybe I have one. So just render, and now it's rendering the video. It's very good speed. Okay, so it's here. Let's see that. Cool. So this was the Facebook logo animation. Thank you for watching.